All right, Shalom. It's your brother AHBAD from YAHAWAH, GMS in Petersburg, Florida. I'm coming in the spirit and power of Yahawah, by Shem YAHAWASHI, by Shem Hakadash. Double honors to my elder apostles, the great millstone. Singing honor and salutation to all you sincere brothers, constantly pushing his word true to sincerity and striving for the truth unto death. All right, but remaining spiritual. And I also want to say peace and blessing to the sincere men, women, and children that consist of the 1/3, which are also members of the body of YAHAWASHI, and Shalom to the diffusion of faces as well. I just went into this article, reading a little bit, and I'm not gonna read the whole article. I'm gonna get straight to the point. I'm gonna pull out a few points as people, us brothers, sisters that are in this truth. We will know that those people that's living in Israel today, they call themselves Jewish, but they're not the real Jews according to biblical prophecy, and also according to a statement that's been said by someone in general, which would be the second president, the late second president of Egypt. But now I'm just gonna go ahead into this article. I'm gonna pull out a few points and information here and there, just to prove that they were actually put there, all right, by the EU, all right, by the European powers, which would be the so-called white man, the so-called, because they're not white, and their biblical nationality is the descendants of Esau, and they also be surnamed Edomites. I'm gonna get straight to the point. This is article from the Jerusalem Post. This individual who you see on this picture, he's an Edomite, of course. I believe he's a Jewish Edomite or Jewish Jewry, however you want, whatever they want to call themselves. His name is Jeremy Corbyn. He says EU supports Israel because of the Holocaust. All right. Now, I'm not going to go in depth of the Holocaust or what happened there, but we know that the Holocaust was actually set up for them to be slaughtered. But when I say them to be slaughtered, they deemed it on the Western news feeds that they were being killed, they were being murdered. But no, they were dying because of diseases, all right? And Hitler, even at that time, was even telling them, since you want to follow a dark-skinned man's religion, in other words, you want to claim to be the Jews, I'm going to put these swastikas on you, all right? The swastikas. You go into the word swastika, a swarthy individual will be a dark individual, all right? Think about Arnold Schwarzenegger. His name Schwartz also goes back to dark, black. And then think about the word nigger. Go back to the word, well, they say nigger today, but it's nigger, all right? Schwarzenegger, all right? Because during that time, you had dark-skinned people that was ruling Europe, all right? Which would be us so-called Negroes, so-called Jamaicans today, and you so-called Haitians, all right? Which would be so-called Negroes would be Judahites, so-called Haitians would be Levites, and the so-called Jamaicans would be Benjaminites, all right? But anyways, let me get to the article. It says the state of Israel was set up in order to provide a safe haven for Jewish people. All right. A 2012 interview with Russia Today surfaced on Saturday through the British newspaper The Sun, outraged Labour members when Jeremy Corbyn told his interviewer that the European Union's unconditional support for Israel is just a reaction to the Holocaust. All right. And I'm going to pull out some information on that, going to the Balfour Declaration. When it asked what is stopping governments from showing support for a recognized Palestinian state, despite a poll showing a majority of British voters being in favor, Corbyn said, what's stopping them is a traditional recognition and support of Israel ever since the founding of the state of Israel in 1948, on the basis that the Jewish people were disgustingly and disgracefully and appallingly treated by the Nazi regime, by the Holocaust. So he would throw that in there, but he know that they were set up there, all right? And I already stated that they were not slaughtered, they were not murdered, because they saying that they was killing these people inside these gas chambers. Well, if they was killing these people inside these gas chambers, right? And they say that they had the troops, the Nazi troops taking them out of gas chambers, they would have died as well, because even someone did a video, I forgot what the video was out on YouTube, when they were going to those gas chambers, like modern time, maybe about 5, 6, 7 years ago, they said that it would have been impossible for those Nazi for those Nazi soldiers to take them out and to continuously put them in those gas chambers back and forth, because they would have had to have 120-foot pole, ventilation system going to the air so that the people on the ground would not also be infected. And when I looked at the photos that they had, there was not a system of sort. So, whatever the case may be, whatever the situation that they're speaking about, that never really happened. All right. But anyways, I don't want to speak on being quote unquote anti-Semitic, but I am a Shemite because I'm an Israelite. But nonetheless, though, I'm going to go into this. This right here is called the Balfour Declaration. All right. This is from it says, this is from, oh man, what was his first name? Arthur James Balfour. All right. And Arthur James Balfour, oh yeah, by the way, the dude Jeremy Corbyn, he's also the head of the Labour Party over in EU. And Arthur James Balfour, he was also he was a part of the government during that time. And this letter he's writing is to Lionel Rothschild. All right, one of the sons of the Red Shield. Okay, one of the Rothschild, one of the descendants of the Bowers. All right. Dear Lord Rothschild, I have pleasure in conveying to you, on behalf of His Majesty's government, the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionist aspirations, which has been submitted to and approved by the cabinet. His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people. It's talking about over there in Israel, and will use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievement of this object, it being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine. And they've been bombing Gaza forever. All right, they've been killing a lot of those Palestinians over there. And just to let you know, and off the West Bank, just to let you know, none of you people belong in that land. That land is ours. Now, those Palestinians, they will claim to be descendants of Canaan, but those Canaanites, they was driven out to South, to Sudan today in the South of Africa. All right. Anyways, all the rights and political status enjoyed by Jews in any other country. I should be grateful if you will bring this declaration to the knowledge of the Zionist Federation. And the Rothschilds are one of the top banking families in the world. One of the top Jewish banking families in the world actually is the Rothschilds. Okay. So now they just go to show you that what he's stating is true. Yes, they were set up to actually be put there in that land. Okay, they wasn't put there by the Lord; they were put there by themselves, and they separated the land, and they separated the land which was actually put there. So like they separate the land which they were actually put in. All right, I don't know why they keep popping up. It's Ezekiel 36:5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea. Idumea is how you say Edom in Greek, which have appointed my land into their possession. So they went over there and took that land with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. So they appointed that land unto themselves. And there's even a scripture where it says that they parted his land. All right. But this right here is just a prophecy that was fulfilled in 1948. Like it says right here, it says state of Israel is born. It clearly says that. Now let's go into, I'm just pulling out a few points. Let's go into Zechariah chapter 9, verse 6. And it says, and a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. Okay, in other words, of the Palestinians as well. But let's see who's dwelling in Ashdod, because Ashdod is the sixth largest city in Israel. Okay, today, and it's a major port. Okay, now let's go into that word bastard. Oh, mamza, which what they would say mamza, we would say mamzar. All right. Like we'll say, Atala Yehudi Ata Mamza. All right. Ata Gomer, like that's speaking in Yiddish to them, you know what I'm saying? But it says bastard, not child of incest though. Illegitimate child. That's basically a bastard would be basically a fatherless child. All right. So in other words, they are not the children of the Most High. They're not the Israelites, because Israel stands for sons of God, sons of the power, princes of the power. They are not chosen to be the princes of the power. They're called Edomites. All right. The word Edom means red, right? Because you are the people on earth whose blood shows through their skin, because you lack pigmentation. All right. So your Lord deemed you to be Edomites. You have the curse of leprosy. All this that I'm speaking is just facts. So if you block this video, should not be blocked for no hate speech or anything. This is just truth. This is just truth. This is exactly what it is. It's called truth. All right. Now I'm gonna bring out a quote from, this is the late second president of Egypt. This is he also was on the cover of Time magazine. When he was asked about peace in the Middle East, the late president of Egypt, Gamal Abdel Nasser, stated, "The Jews will never be able to live here in peace because they left here black but came back white." Ooh. What did he just say? He said the real Jews left here black but came back white. So he's saying, we know who you are. You are imposters. You were set up to get this land by the wicked, by yourselves, okay? Trying to fulfill biblical prophecy, because Esau's still upset that Jacob supplanted him and getting the blessing. Jacob did not steal the blessing. Esau sold his blessing for some meat, being carnal minded. Why didn't you fast? Right? You couldn't wait. What was your patience? And you could tell that Esau, Edom, and so-called white man, because they have all these fast food restaurants all around, man. Right? They still can't wait. But I'm going to bring out a precept just to prove that they are not the children of Israel real quick. And I'm going to close out. I'm going to go to Isaiah chapter 2, verse 1. And it says, the word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, said concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days. Well, we're living in the last days, but let's see if this is being fulfilled. That the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountain. That's parabolic, meaning that the nation, the government of Israel will be above all nations, okay? When they have G20 summits, they have the top 20 leaders of the top 20 countries come together for a conference. A summit is the peak of a mountain, all right? And shall be exalted above the hills. The hills would be those smaller countries, all right? That doesn't really have a major influence on the world or the economy of the world. And all nations shall flow unto it. All nations not flowing over to Israel today. Why? Because the Lord this has not been fulfilled yet. Actually, all nations they're really hating Israel right now. Those Israelis over there, okay? And many people shall go and say, come ye and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he would teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. They're not walking in the paths of them, walking in the ways of the Lord. They have Tel Aviv, they have the biggest gay parade in the whole world. I mean, come on, the Heavenly Father destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. They can't be the people. For out of Zion shall go forth the law. They don't keep the law. And the word of YAHAWAH from Jerusalem. All right. And he shall judge among the nations, shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. In other words, there shall not be any more war. But you still have them having, Israel is going to war with almost every nation over there in the Middle East now. All right. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. And there is still war in the world today. O house of Jacob, come ye and let us walk in the light of the Lord. All right. So this is just a quick video just going on an article speaking about how the people that's over there in Israel are not the real Jews. And that dude Jeremy Corbyn, he partially spoke some truth, but nonetheless though, he's a Jew, so he's not gonna tell you that he's not a real Jew, so to say. So like he's Jewish, so he's not gonna tell you that he's not the real Jew. Put it that way. I pray you edified. The water YAHAWASHI, keep the spirit of edification on me. Keep pushing, keep professing the truth, because by truth we shall prevail, and we shall not fail through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI. With that being said, Shalom.